welcome to your Mondays this morning. I hope you've had a lovely summer. It's rather lovely to be back, isn't it?
It really is, yeah. We had a lovely summer, though. Lots of beach action, family, friends, kids,
big
ice
creams.
screens as big as your head.
That's how it should be.
All that kind of stuff. It's been really fab. But I tell you what, I was really excited to come back.
It's odd, isn't it? I'd never looked forward to going back to school, but I did look forward to coming back today.
Yeah, me too.
So again, lovely summer. We went we were on Lions tour.
Yeah.
So we were in Australia with the whole family, which was amazing. And then it was Annie's 50th birthday.
Happy birthday, Annie.
On Saturday. I can't quite believe I'm married to a 50-year-old.
I bet she can, the other way around. You remind everybody enough.
But so she's a massive Agatha Christie fan. So we had a very special weekend and we stayed at Greenway, which is in Dartmouth.
Yep.
That's Agatha Christie's house. You can go and visit it. It's absolutely stunning. Overlooks Dartmouth. And this is Annie in situ with her brother, who was trying to get some service from ChatGPT to do an Agatha Christie quiz. But the only place their service is right by the window. It looks very suspicious what he's doing out of the window, but he's actually just trying to get ChatGPT to write a quiz.
Agatha Christie couldn't solve that herself.
No. But it was lovely. So we got back today, and then also Jack, who had his A-levels. Yeah. I hope all your kids got on all right with their exams over summer. He's gone back to his old school, his old little school, junior school, to work as a teaching assistant for the next few months. Yeah. So we had him back to school as well this morning. He was packed off to school at 7:30.
Yeah. Like my list is starting his new school today. So he's got to wear a blazer and he's popped the collar already.
Accessorising like his mum.
Exactly.
Good luck to all of you if you've got kids going back to school wherever they might be, or they may be back already if they're up in Scotland, of course.
Absolutely. And with the children heading back to school this week, teachers across England and Wales are preparing to get stuck into a brand. The laugh. Did you hear the laugh on the outro? That we're joined now by Twiggy and Sadie Frost, who directed the film. Good morning, ladies.
Hello. Lovely to see you both.
Good morning. It is an absolutely superb documentary.
Thanks to this young lady.
And what a wonderful, incredible, inspiring life you had.
Thank you. Well, I'm hopefully still living it.
Yes, you are.
Clearly.
You grab it with both hands.
Yeah.
And it's like nothing's ever stood in your way. You never had... It seems like you didn't have doubts, almost.
I certainly didn't plan any of it.
Yeah.
I certainly didn't plan being discovered age 16. You know, I grew up a skinny little kid, hated what I looked like, but I think all teenagers hate what they look like, don't they? So to me, it was as big a shock to me in 1966 that happened.
Yeah.
But things like Broadway and doing a film, I was lucky. I had these amazing... Ken Russell wanted me in the film.
The boyfriend.
Yep. And he was the biggest director in England at that time. So who was I to say? I was terrified, but I figured the worst that can happen
though, Twiggy. You hadn't danced, you hadn't sung. You still had the confidence to go, oh, go on then, I'll give it a go.
Yeah, because I had Ken Russell saying, you can do it. So I went off to class, I learnt basic tap dancing. I could always sing in tune, so that was all right.
Yeah.
And I loved that kind of period. So, and I thought the worst that can happen is they'll give me terrible... I mean, they're not going to kill me. I might get some bad reviews, but... And Tommy Tune the same. That was even more...
On Broadway.
I did one and only in the 80s.
Honestly, Twiggy, we've met and we've interviewed and we talk about various bits and pieces you've done over the years, but watching your life and your career unfold on screen is one of the most jaw-droppingly charming, extraordinary, motivating, inspiring things. And I think that, Sadie, from your perspective, having a great subject is important for a documentary. Persuading that subject to make the documentary is a different matter altogether. Was it hard to get her to agree?
I mean, it's very... I mean, it's very difficult. So many documentaries have been made to find, somebody as amazing as Twiggy that hasn't been actually a documentary made. But I was doing the podcast for the documentary Quant that I had out a few years ago. And
that's my podcast.
Yes.
Yeah, I was on your podcast about Tea with Twiggy.
But she was talking about Quant.
Yeah.
Which is great.
And then she said to me, what are you doing next? And I suddenly realised I actually didn't have a job. I hadn't thought about it. I was like, oh, my God, I don't have a job. So I was like, oh, can I do a documentary about you? And I was, like, pleading, and she was just saying...
And I went, well, let's talk about it off air.
Yeah.
And so when we went off air, I said, let's go and have lunch next week. Because I have been asked to do it over the years.
Sure you have.
And certain people have sent me treatments and things, but it's a very tender thing to do a documentary in your life.
Yes.
And we went to lunch, got on really... I mean, we knew each other, but not ever so well. And I suddenly figured, I really like Sadie. I loved Quant. It's a really good documentary. If anyone hasn't seen it, it's fabulous. And I thought she's a woman, that's good. She a kind of parallel life. She's been in the public eye since she was very young. She's done fashion, she's done designing, I've done fashion, I've done designing. She's an actress, I'm an actor. So I thought this is quite good, actually.
There's a nice
She
synergy.
understands,
And there
she'll
was
understand
a lot of trust between us. And I
Yeah.
think I've been used to being in situations where I felt exploited, and I wanted to be really sensitive to Twiggy's life and realise, like, I want to celebrate her life and not sensationalise the bits she didn't want to tell. So there had to be trust, but I'd have to push you a little bit, but then, you know, I really respected you.
We never really fell out.
No, we never did. But we could be honest with each other.
we
And
could.
I think if you're making a documentary, for me, it's really important to respect that person.
Yeah.
And, you know, now it's coming out on the BBC on the 15th of September, so we're really excited because it was at the cinema, but now everyone can see it on the telly.
I think it's 9 o'clock on BBC Two.
Yeah.
on the 15th.
But it's interesting what you're saying, Sadie, about what you put in and what you leave out.
Yeah.
And I think